Hello, good morning, and welcome to Soft Skills Get You Through Hard Times. Why soft skills matter for personal and professional development. So, just to let you know, my name is Sarita Price, and I am the owner of FSP Enterprises. And I'm also known as the soft skill coach who is skilling you softly. So, first, I want to say thank you for taking the time to attend this free webinar. I promise you're going to get a lot of great information that will definitely help you in your not only your professional life but your personal life as well. So I named this um coffee talk. So grab your cup of coffee. I have mine. Just to let you know before we get into this, I schedule the webinar for like an hour and a half, but more than likely it won't last over an hour. But I wanted to give you some information that will help you. This is just one of the many webinars that I will actually facilitate. So we won't be long. I wanted to do this like on a Saturday morning. If I wasn't going live, I would be in my PJs too. But since I'm the facilitator, I thought I'd need to, look decent. But grab your coffee, grab your laptop. If you're in your PJs, get your pad or your iPad. If you rather write notes, most time I still like to write. So we're about to get started here. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. So let's go get it going here. Also, too, let me go ahead and feel free. I'm going to try to watch the comment section. So if you got any comments, got any questions, let me put my glasses on here so that I can see. Please feel free to post because I'm actually streaming on YouTube, my YouTube channel. I'm streaming on Facebook, my Facebook business page, as well as I am streaming on LinkedIn, my LinkedIn page. But probably the best way is YouTube. I think I can see the comments from YouTube and possibly Facebook. So if you got any comments, any questions, I'll try to answer them, be on the watch for your comments as I continually to present. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Let me get this going here and get you the right view. All right. So like I said, this is Soft Skills Get You Through Hard Times, why soft skills matter for personal and professional development. So first, I told you just a little bit about me in the beginning. So I'm watching you. I'm just making sure that this is actually showing. I'm on YouTube now. So can you not see my screen? I'm a little concerned here. Let me stop sharing. So all right. Share screen here. I'm hoping that you can see this. Okay. Here we go. Now let me see. I'll start from the beginning. It's a little delay here. I want to make sure you guys see this information because I don't want to start presenting and you can't see anything. All right. Okay. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on, but we're going to keep it moving here. All right. Okay. Let me go to another. I don't know if it's just YouTube doing this. Let me go to another. Um, I hope it's just, I pray it's not just YouTube here because I've shared before and I haven't had any issues. So let's see what's going on. Um, all right. I should be live. I apologize. You know, technology is wonderful. And I've never had this issue before, but let's see what's going on here. Um, okay, let me stop sharing. I don't know what's going on here. This is, but we're going to get this done. I know that I have another way that I can actually do this. If, all right. All right, let's try this again. I'm looking at, let me try to share again. I'm looking at, um, okay, let's go to Windows here. All right. Hopefully you can see that. Yes, here we go. All right. Okay. I don't know what's going on, but we're gonna keep it moving. All right. So about us, about my company, my focus is as an organization that we're committed to using life and soft skill strategies and practices to develop, enhance our clients' life and leadership skills, to be equipped to live and lead with confidence and boldness. So, if you followed me, or some of you guys, this may be your first time, I am an advocate for soft skills. So, what makes my organization, what makes my services so unique? I take a holistic approach to helping my clients not only take care of their being, but their business as well. That's why I use the term soft skills, and so that is what we are talking about today. Soft skills, why they are important. And for some of you who don't know what soft skills are, well, you know what? Let me do this. This is our objective. So by the end of this webinar, this is what we hope to achieve. First, define soft skills, understand the importance of soft skill development, understand how soft skills have a hard impact on business. Many don't realize how the lack of soft skill, or what I call the soft skill gap, has an impact on your business as well as your personal life. And then the next objective is to understand how soft skills development play a major role in business in the role in business successfully executing their vision, mission, and values. And then the last thing we're going to look into is how understand soft skills for personal and professional development. Okay, so let's keep it going. So, what are soft skills? Okay, soft skills are those desirable qualities or those transferable skills that do not depend on acquired knowledge. They are, some people will call them people skills. So, some of the soft skills, for example, I'll go to the next slide. These are examples of soft skills: creativity, innovation. One of the ones that I am very proficient in: change management, effective communication, customer service, critical thinking, integrity, positive attitude, problem solving, responsibility, teamwork capability, work ethic, relationship building, conflict management, time management, stress management, and my all-time favorite, emotional intelligence, in which consists of 5 components. So the ones on the right, you see I have those highlighted in yellow. I'm going to talk about from a personal development standpoint, how these soft skills can help you in your personal life as well as your business. Okay. So why should soft skills matter? This was some information, and I had another view, but that's okay. This was some information. I actually did a research um, on soft skills that actually came from the Harvard, as well as Carnegie. The research, it was an article that I found of some research they actually conducted on how effective soft skills and how they impact. And this is in the business world. So people with adequately developed soft skills not only increase they increase their value, but not just in the business as well. They increase their own personal value. And as we continue on, I'll show you that. Research also shows that 57% of leaders who say soft skills are more important than hard skills. And I can see that. As we continue on, this is actually research I am conducted, have conducted, and will continually conduct, showing this. Research shows 75% of long-term job success depends upon soft skills mastery, and only 25 on technical skills or hard skills. So when you think about some of these hard skills, and these soft skills, I don't want to give it away. You'll see as I go on, you'll see how these numbers, how they resonate from research, from work experience, from my observation, the 20 plus years I worked in corporate America. I can firmly agree with this. Research reported that people who are trained in soft skills are 12% more productive than those who are not. So that may seem like a small number. And this leads me to the next point. But the advantage in production, which is, kind of small, seemingly small, but it marks a 2.56% return on investment for soft skill training. So, in other words, when you invest in soft skill training, and let me just say this webinar is for, individuals who are business owners, it's for organizations, nonprofit, profit, large, small, it doesn't matter. If you have employees, it is, you can see these numbers. It is extremely productive to invest in your employees in soft skill training. And I'm going to get a little bit more in detail as we get toward the end to tell you, and I'm going to say this phrase, but I'll explain it to you later. Okay. Soft skills. When you have, I know each department have their training department, learning and development, engagement. Training is good, but when you have an issue that's deep rooted, it's going to take more than just 1 hour or 1 day training sessions. It's like you have to change the behavior, because so in the end, I'll tell you about some programs that I have, and I'll go a little bit more detail into that. All right, soft skill training, how it impacts on executing your mission, vision, and values. So how does soft skill impact in your organization, your mission, your vision, and your values? First of all, it boosts employee morale, employee engagement. I have seen, working in the industry, in different industries, but I have actually observed this, and it is true. When you actually nurture your employees to become high performers, it increased productivity. It also increased retention. It helps your employees want to stay with you, want to be engaged with the organization. This is small as well as large organizations. One thing I'm going to say, I am a small business owner. I am an entrepreneur. Most of my experience, I actually worked in corporate America for some, some great Fortune 100 and 500 companies. Okay. But let me tell you about small business owners. This is messages for you. You need this as well. And when you think about, I'm recording this so you can go back and look at the soft skills, but you need this in as well because we have these particular situations going on there. Quiet quitting. One time, we had the Great Resignation. Employees were leaving in droves the company because of the pandemic. I am a firm believer, and this is my theory, and I'm even conducting research. I'm writing my dissertation on this. Soft skills is the answer to a lot of the problems when you're talking about developing your employees. You have to give your employees a reason to stay. You have to tell them the importance of your mission and vision and values and how they play a part of making the company of a success. Employees want to feel valued. Okay. So another impact is educate your employees on operational processes and how each employee plays a major role in the success of the organization. I just said that. You identify untapped talent. Listen, there is so much untapped talent in a lot of these organizations, and most of them are found the frontline employees. I just was blown away in my experience and still seeing the diamonds that are on the front line greeting the customers. They are some of the most brilliant, intelligent, and future leaders. So you want to identify the untapped talent. That's the purpose of as far as the impact of soft skills. Another impact is identifying and build stronger leaders. I can't express some of the research I've conducted about some of the industry leaders and experts as well in soft skills state that the most effective leader, the strongest leader, has a high level of soft skills. They are the most impactful and the most successful. And they're more charismatic. They actually have a way of reaching the employees and engaging the employees. Okay. So another impact, create a true learning environment. This days and times, it's not business as usual, guys. You got to do something different. Um, Soft skills is not as popular. I always say it's not as sexy as some people. We're so focused on the bottom line, the numbers, that one thing I can say, and I'll say this with boldness, when the pandemic came through, it actually showed, and I'm seeing article after article that many leaders didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to lead the employees with all the emotional and um, the chaos that was going on. It was just like they were in turmoil. So I am convinced, and I will stand on it more than ever now. Soft skills will get you through hard times. There need to be more soft skill training. So especially in, I'm going to even say middle and high school, because as a college professor, one thing that I am seeing is that students, the younger generation, Gen Z, especially, and some millennials, they lack soft skills. They don't know how to resolution, conflict management, how to effectively communicate, critical thinking skills. Those are lacking. I see it in my classrooms. I teach online, and they don't have it. Research even is further showing too, as students in college, after they finish college, we don't teach enough soft skill courses in college. When they get to the work environment, there certain things they're lost. So anyway, I don't want to get on my bandwagon to get too far to what, off topic. I mean, what's is part of the topic, but I don't want to get too far off my slide I'm looking at. So, also another impact: empower individuals in collaborative learning, encourage learners to take ownership of their own development. This is one thing you have to take ownership. Empower your employees. And I can say that is smart companies, smart organizations are following this trend to empower their employees. Okay. Because I would say this: the majority of the workforce now consists of millennials, and now Gen Zs have been in the workforce now probably about a couple of years. They are not they're not going to have it another way. So companies have to change. You have to change your, I mean, I'm just being honest. You probably need to go back and look at the drawing board of your mission, vision, and your values, because times have changed. The pandemic has changed a lot of this, and it's not business as usual. I talk about my, you look at my time here, I talk about my journey of when I came into corporate America and how different it is now compared. We were like, kind of like, you didn't buck the system. You do what you were told, and you did your job and you went home. That's not how it is today. And I can say I'm loving it. um but nevertheless, the last point here is promote professional development. It definitely promotes professional development as well. um when you engage your employees and make them a part of make them feel like, they want to come to work, make them feel like they are part of the organization, and they play a major role in its success, as I stated earlier. Okay, so like I stated, soft skills is your secret weapon for business success. The ability to work better, connect with customers, improve customer satisfaction, and as well as it puts you on a competitive edge. You are um, unique. It'll make you unique. I always think about some of the companies I've worked for in the past and how, even the present, because I've worked for some great organizations that I went from being suit wearing every day to the corporate America type, until I'm still in corporate America, but companies where the culture is different and they embrace more what you have to say. They want to engage you. So that puts you in a competitive edge, especially now. It's very competitive. But also, too, soft skills is revenue growth. You saw the previous slide on the numbers where I talked about how soft skills, how they may make a major impact. Because if you think about it, if you have employees that are engaged, they are productive, right? That's going to grow your revenue. That is the strategy that I take. Building, developing leaders and building high performing teams. That is your key. And soft skills is the secret weapon to that. Okay. All right, let's keep going. All right, so let's get to the part where we're talking about soft skills for personal and professional development. How soft skills get you through hard times. This is one of those, actually, this is the cup that I have here. That I actually developed this. I choose happiness over heaviness. And the one reason that I can say that I am so soft skills savvy, this has been I really didn't even know what it was, but all my professional and personal life, I've been a people watcher, right? And not from a point of judgment, just watch people behavior in the work environment and how people react to certain things. And during the pandemic, this is a lot of these things became clear to me. Soft skills became my passion. It became, and I saw how effective the leaders that I've had, or supervisors in the past, who had a high level of soft skills, excuse me, and how great leaders, such great leaders. And I thought about, it's like, okay, so there's something to this. But anyway, I designed this. I choose happiness over heaviness. I do. I mean, and we'll get as I go more into this. You'll see why I made that statement. All right. So the first soft skill that I chose is emotional intelligence. Okay. Emotional intelligence is one of those terms that you actually see more in corporate America than you do in personal, but people don't really understand. Emotional intelligence makes for better and more positive and better relationships, right? Um, better relationships, period, in your personal as well as your professional life. So most of us know, if you've been in corporate, if you've been in the business world, you've heard the name Daniel Goldman, who actually was known for soft skills, the master of emotional intelligence, right? But actually, when I conducted my research, say I think their names are Salavi and Mayer were um, the original, I guess, the theory of, because emotional intelligence is considered a theory. They actually, back in the early 90s, actually were the first to engage and talk about emotional intelligence. But Goldman actually took it a step further, and it actually became a theory where he added 5 components of emotional intelligence. So if you don't know what emotional intelligence is the awareness of one's emotions, how you control your emotions. These are the 5 components of emotional intelligence: self-awareness, self-regulation, motivated, empathy, and social skills. Self-awareness, I cannot remember. Did I go? No. Okay. Self-awareness is being aware of one's self. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are your triggers? Okay, we're going to talk about conflict management. Actually, is next after this. Being aware of yourself, being aware of who you are, your strength, your weaknesses, right? Self regulation is being able to regulate yourself, being able to control yourself. It's pretty simple. Regulate yourself. From a personal standpoint, you know, if someone says something that gets on your last nerve, okay, or say something you think is disrespectful, how do you engage with them? Being aware of your self-awareness shows you how you are, what your buttons are. Self-regulation is how you control when you actually something happens to trigger and you want to act in a certain way. Well, if you're at work, you can't do that, right? You can't say and do the things you have to weigh. There's a skill set, and that's where effective communication comes in. So I'm going to say this too. I didn't say this. I should have said it in the beginning. You're going to see that all of these soft skills like intertwine with each other. You can't see one without seeing the other. Okay. Motivated is how, that's pretty simple. How motivated are you to do something? What is your motivation level? Are you the kind? Some people are self-motivated. They don't need a lot of people or things to motivate them. Even in your personal relationships, let's talk about that as well from on a personal level. Then you have some that require a little bit more. They need that little push, right? They need that. But being self-aware to know what you need, that's part of emotional intelligence. If you know the type of person that you you need that. So maybe you read a lot of inspirational material to motivate you. You listen to motivational speakers, or you constantly, and then not saying that people who are self-motivated, they are the ones who actually help encourage and motivate others as well. So you see how this all come about. Empathy, that is a big one. Empathy is one of those components of emotional intelligence that really was tested. And with everything going on with the world, even though guys, we kind of like it, the pandemic is not over. It'll never. We're still in this, the end part. But there is so much going on in the world, and showing empathy, having that capacity to show empathy, it's needed. As a leader, you have to have that in your personal life. If you are, most time, if you are a parent or loved ones, that on a personal level, that's not an issue. But when you get in a work environment, you have to be able to empathize with your employees. There's a lot going on. There's, mental health, and you know people have elderly parents or aging parents. You may be a younger person, just got married and had a new baby, and you got everything going on. You have to have a form of empathy. Okay. The last component is social skills. How are your social skills? And a lot, let me just say this: emotional intelligence, or just soft skills in general, they have more to deal with your personality, right? They're more talking about your personality, because some people depend on if you are introvert or extrovert. Your level of soft skills may depend on your text, on your personality, just who you are. I always say who you be, your being. Some people have a higher level, have soft skill, they're there, and then some may not. One thing I noticed, and I'm gonna continue on. When I was in corporate America, one thing that I noticed was really funny as far as personality. Most time people choose their careers according to how they are, right? So if you are an introvert most of the time, though you're quiet, you're reserved, and you maybe you are one of those that's think in your head, and um you're good with numbers. Or I've noticed people who are in finance and accounting, and um who are IT techs or engineers. They are so focused, and they're not the person bubbly type and it's just really funny how some of their soft skills, they're so focused that they kind of like lack certain soft skills, because it's just kind of, that's their personality, that's who they are. Where someone who may be extroverted, it's the happy-go-lucky time. They make excellent sales reps. They make excellent marketing people. Certain careers, you kind of know, they are a people person. They may be an educator, because when you have to have those, especially high level soft skills when you're dealing with people. So I just kind of noticed that, even from research and observation. Um, I noticed that. Okay. So one thing I found, this, it says, in the right corner, it says your IQ gets you hired, but your EQ gets you promoted. That's true. That's what, on a professional level, you may have the technical skills, the hard skills for the job, but if you want to ever move up in a leadership role, it is, when they're choosing people to lead people, you have to have a higher level of emotional intelligence. That's just it. So being self-aware, aware of yourself, understanding your strengths and weaknesses, self-regulation. How are you regulating yourself? Are you paying attention to your triggers? Motivated. Are you self-motivated? Or maybe you need a little extra motivation, external motivation. Empathy. Can you show empathy? And then social skills. Are you the type to go out? Are you the life of the party? Or you the life at work? You joking? Or, are you more introverted? But so these are the different components of emotional intelligence. And I hope that helped. And just FYI, this is just the surface of each one of these soft skills. I take a much deeper dive, but we'll talk about that later. Okay, how am I doing on time here? All right. Okay, conflict management. This is a good one. So, conflict management is the practice of recognizing and dealing with disputes in a rational, balanced, and effective way. The purpose of conflict management, of course, is to really to enhance learning and group outcomes, including effectiveness or performance and organization. So, conflict management, um, it is, let's just say this, conflict resolution is a process. It just doesn't happen overnight. Okay. Conflict management is it is needed in every area of your life. Let me go to the next slide here. So I even have some conflict management strategies. This is for addressing personal conflict as well as addressing workplace conflict. Okay. Um, okay. So addressing personal conflict, manage your anger. Right? First thing first, you need to manage your anger. Let's look, I'm gonna take you back to one more thing. What did we say in emotional intelligence? Self-regulation, right? That's part of you see how these are going together. That's part of managing your anger, right? Regulating yourself, manage your anger, apologize when necessary. So if you got a disagreement with a family member, a spouse, or whoever, be the bigger person. Just because only way you're going to get through this is, to settle down, even though you may not you think you've done nothing wrong. This is a start, right? For the next step is you need to define the problem. What is the problem? Because sometimes from what I've learned along the way, you might be arguing about the garbage, taking the garbage out, or this is for your married people, or you may have a roommate. It's not really about the garbage. You blow up about the garbage. It's not about the garbage not being taken out or something not being done. Most times it's deep rooted. It's bigger than just the surface, right? So you really need to talk through it and define the problem. Agree where you can. Sometimes, depending on the problem, sometimes you have to agree to disagree. But you need to look and listen and agree where you can agree. Identify solutions. What are the solutions? Here we are. This is the problem. We define the problem. We can, agree where you can. Let's identify solutions. What are our possibilities? Lay them on the table. So I'm going to say this. Guess what? All of these require knowing how to effectively communicate, because screaming at each other, whatever, it's not going to help anything. So you need to take it down a notch. Identify the solutions. Settle on a plan. What is the plan? What are we doing next? Right? What's next? All of this takes knowing how to regulate yourself. Getting on 10 and staying on 10, nothing would ever be accomplished. Nothing when you're dealing with conflict. Work as a team / family to follow the plan. This, when you follow a plan, when you have and let me just say this, as a family, from a personal perspective, you can have a plan. Sit down and talk. See, the problem is these days, families don't sit down and talk to each other because we all busy now at the table. We supposed to be eating, and everybody got this wonderful thing out called, these smartphones. And I just think you need to take them and throw them in a basket and put them somewhere, because when you're at the dinner table, sometimes back in the day, I'm just being honest, we didn't have all that. Everybody talked to each other. That's how you found out what was going on in each other's life at the dinner table, at the breakfast table, whatever, because we talked to each other. You have to put aside any distractions and work on a plan as a family. That's the only way that you're going to resolve anything. That's why during the pandemic, and by the way, if you didn't know, I'm going to tell you, go read my bio on my website, because I'm also international board certified Christian life coach as well. I'm not a counselor, but I'm a coach. But certain things I can help you with. But go back and recapture some of those things. Some of the younger generations, they may not, that's how they grew up in the household. They don't know any other way. But for us who are, I would say some millennials and Gen Xers and even older, There was a point in time we didn't have smartphones at the table all the time. We sat down at the table when we ate dinner, we talked. That's how we found out what was going on at school and who was being bullied. And we talked about things, we talked it out. So, and that's another part of effective communication. Guess what? That's another soft skill. But anyway, I digress. Let me keep going. Yeah, I got about 20 more minutes. All right. So, addressing the workplace conflict as well. So, listen, then speak. Let me go back. I'm sorry. I forgot the very first. I got in big bold red here. Don't postpone conflict resolution. Avoiding conflict, this goes for personal as well as the workplace. Do not avoid it. Don't postpone it. You got to deal with it. We like to avoid things. And I'm going to say this too. This is a wonderful device. And I'm just going to be honest. I use this more than I do my laptop, but it also can be a damaging device as well. And we talk communication. Stop sending things on text messages that you need to be actually discussing in person. Okay. You can't postpone it. You got to deal with the conflict. Listen, then speak. Many times, this is actually part of effective communication. Listen, then speak. Because let me tell you what happened when you are not effectively communicating. Where you're listening, you're thinking in your mind, boy, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say that. You haven't heard anything that person say, or you constantly interrupt the person as they are speaking. You got to listen, then speak. Listen, effectively listen to what they say. Okay. Some of the techniques in listening, as far as effective communication, is listening skills, verbal communication, as well as nonverbal communication, which is body language. Okay. Next step, assemble the group. If you are having conflict in a group at work, let's just say there's an issue going on, you need to assemble a group and talk about it. Get a mediator. Maybe it's not the supervisor of the team. Maybe you need to, that's what HR is for. Bring someone in, a neutral party from human resources to talk about it. Assemble the group. Be unbiased. Many times we have so much unbiased that's in us that we don't realize. All type of bias, where it's relating to how this person act when she did this, or maybe that person that is at work and them from the lifestyle they live out of work. Well, that has nothing to do with the work environment. You can't base what's going on concerning that. So learn how to be unbiased. Broadcast praise. That's another thing we don't do. We don't praise each other, motivate, encourage each other as a team, because you would not realize how that helps someone. I'm gonna tell you a very a personal story that happened to me a couple of weeks ago, and it's not really related to workplace conflict, but in a sense it was. So at this time, this person called me, and I actually facilitated a class back in, I think it was like 2017, at I was part of a an economic empowerment ministry where I used to conduct a lot of classes free, because this is just what I love to do. And it actually was a course about human resources, the best interview practices, your resume, and with a lot of the information, the do's and don'ts, what you should do in a resume. I mean, on your in an interview, what you should not put on your resume there, so on and so forth. So this person called me, haven't heard from him in a couple of years. And she said, I just want to call you and let you know. Now, this was like over, God, how old was it? Almost 7 years ago. She said, I want you to let you know, I just got a big promotion on the job. And I still had my notes from what you told me all those years ago. And it helped me finally get this job. I got this promotion. I got an office. And she was and I'm like shocked, because not really shocked, but more, I'm like, wow, that was a form of praise for me, that, it was because of the things that I freely gave to help someone else, that she thought enough of me to pick up the phone and call. And it was praise. And it happened twice in one day. So, and it makes you feel more that, okay, I am on the right move. I'm on the right path to do what I am designed to do, right? I am supposed to do. It is my work. So that gave me motivation to keep moving on, to know that I am doing what I am supposed to do, that someone is being positively impacted by what I'm doing. So as a team, you need to make sure you praise each other's, like your team members. Okay. All right. Promote teamwork. That, guess what? Teamwork is another soft skill. All of these help promote teamwork. When you deal with conflict management strategies, this will help promote teamwork. You'll be more high performing, as well as it all goes together. But if you use soft skills, you're high performing, it all impacts the bottom line, the revenue. Okay, so we still seeing how all of these are connected. Let's keep going here. All right, stress management. This is one of those soft skills that is critical in this time. Okay. Stress management, strategies or methods that reduce the negative impacts of stress has on one's mental or physical well-being. This is one of those, and I'll give you a minute to look at these. These are some of the stress management, um, some of the strategies that you can use. Okay. But let's go to the methods. All right. So for those of who you know me, who don't know me, I am a big advocate about not being stressed. I even wrote, this is one of the quotes: protect your peace so when needed, your peace can protect you. Okay. I'm a big advocate of that, because when you are stressed, first of all, it affects your physical being, it affects your health, your blood pressure. It affects a lot of things in your body. Stress actually can kill you. Okay. So you need at all states and all times to find methods for stress, how to deal with your stress first. Now, this is personal and professional, right? Remember? So one is meditation. Meditate. Now, I know I may have people from different religious backgrounds, and I'm accustomed to that. I'm not so in a box. I actually enjoy talking to people from different backgrounds and cultures. You learn a lot. Some of you guys need to come out your box. It does not take away from me being who I am or how I do things or my beliefs, but you will learn a lot. And I'm going to tell you something as well. Meditation, that's, whether you just sit quiet, you sit still, connects to the next one, deep breathing. Practice deep breathing. I do this all the time, especially if I find myself getting in a stress mode where you breathe in and breathe out. Do that about 2 or 3 times. It helps lower your blood pressure. It helps lower your heart rate. Deep breathing. Okay. Maintain physical exercise and good nutrition. This is one thing that I was practicing this before the pandemic, but when in 2020, when I actually contracted COVID, about three months within it, I really stopped and looked. Now, even though I wasn't that ill compared to other people, it let me know my immune system was still, pretty good. I had a little, it lasted about 2 weeks, more like I had a bad case of the flu. But maintaining exercise, getting up, walking. I work from home, so I'm in the office in a chair. But I make it a point every hour to get up and move. Sometimes I may walk in place, or I get up and go do some housework or do something for 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Then I come back. Or, when I get up in the morning, I go walking in the park. I love nature. I love outside. So I'll get up and go walking in the park, fresh air, exercise, breathing, right? And then good nutrition. Make sure you're eating right. You got to change. Eating right is a lifestyle change. You eat. The reason you eat is you eat to live. You don't live to eat. So making sure you're not eating a bunch of junk food or salt and um, stuff with preservatives in it and all of that stuff. And I'm telling you, even though I have my coffee here, I always keep a cup of water. I drink, this is 8 ounces. I drink one of those every hour because water is medicine to you. So I'm not a physician, but I'm just saying this is very important because what I've learned, you heard there's certain that actually was, they used to say you are what you eat. If you eat a lot of sugar or caffeine, now my coffee, I'm drinking coffee this morning. I used to drink coffee every day. I got to the point now I drink coffee only on the weekends. And it's half and half. Because guess what? Caffeine can become an addiction. But anyway, I don't want to mess up y'all Starbucks people. Got to have your Starbucks every day. But it plays a part. Caffeine makes you jittery. It makes, depending on what type of it is, So make sure you eat right, good nutrition. If you need a nutritionist, email me. I know several that I can refer you to. If you need a workout coach, email me. I know several that can help you. Okay. Um, Manage your social media time. And let me tell you this. This is very important, guys. Even though part of what I do when you go on my website, hint hint, you see one of the things that I do. I'm in digital marketing, social media. I've conducted several webinars for different organizations on how to make social media work for your business. So I'm constantly on social media, right? I had to back up because social media will get in your mind, it'll get in your psyche. You'll catch yourself grabbing and I even turn my notifications off. So me, digital marketing, social media, I had to better manage my time. So, you know, um, you actually can set it up where there's different apps and software where you can actually schedule your posts. Now I've noticed, um, I think Facebook, and I'm not sure, but there's a business suite. The Meta has a suite for Facebook and for um, Instagram. I went blank where you can schedule your posts. I started scheduling my posts to post at a certain time, so I'm not picking up the phone. First of all, I don't have time, but you need to manage that because all of that stuff will start getting in your mind. You looking at posts, you start thinking, everybody. I'm just going to be honest with you. All the stuff that people post about how great their life is, some of it's a lie. It's not true. Okay. Don't let that get in your spirit. Take time, manage your social media time and manage it well. I post things now. I may pick up my phone and post something in the morning, and I may not look at my social media page again until later that night if somebody's responded to something. But because of my business, sometimes I have to look at it. But if you're not doing, take the time away from social media, manage your time. Another stress method, connect with others. This one is huge. Now, if you have to go to a job every day, you're seeing other people, but also not just at work. Connect with other people, your friends and families. You say, "Well, I don't really have a lot of friends." Sometimes you just get up and go walking in the park. Well, I'm not a people person. You still need people. If nothing came from this pandemic, it showed that from a psychological perspective, people need people. You need that to engage with people. Okay. Now, this last one, and it's one of my it goes back to my protect your peace when needed. So your protect your peace, so when needed, your peace can protect you. Avoid negative people when possible to maintain your positive attitude, which positive attitude is also a soft skill. Now, I know he's like, well, is that hard? That's hard to do, Sarita. I work with a lot of negative people. Well, I got negative people in my family. Avoid them when you can. Or one of the components of emotional intelligence was what? Self awareness, self regulation, right? So, not only being aware of yourself, if you know someone has a negative spirit or they're just a negative person, deal with, if you have to deal with them if when you have to, but avoid them at all when all possible to maintain a positive attitude. I don't have negative people around me. Okay. I'm just being honest. I changed my tribe. I started a while back because the path that I am on, especially to be productive, to be conduct the work, my assignment, to be motivate, inspire, educate, and innovate others, I cannot consistently stay around negative people. It doesn't work for me. And guess what? You have a choice. You have a choice of whether or not you want to continue to be around negative people or not. It's up to you. This is your life. And guess what? You don't owe anyone any explanation. If you choose to handle someone as we used to say with a long handle spoon, that means, you only deal with them when needed, when you need to, when you have to. It's okay. You don't owe anyone any explanation. Okay? All right, so these are some of the stress management methods. Let me move on. Time management. This is another soft skill. Time management is the practice of planning and applying mindful control of time spent on specific activities, especially to increase effectiveness and productivity. You have to learn how to manage your time. Remember one of the methods previously I talked about, and when you're talking about stress, manage your social media time. And I keep stressing that, right? So here's some time management tips. Monitor multitasking. I'm a big multitasker, but time management is one of those. For what I do, I have to manage my time. I didn't bring it out, but I actually have a task sheet that I keep what I need to do, the deadlines I need to make. I need to accomplish them by this date. Okay. Make deadlines. That's important, especially if you are a business owner. You need time. You need to manage your time, make deadlines. You need to prioritize your task. What is important? What's not important? If it's something that has to be done, you need to prioritize those and put those in order. Get rid of distractions. If social media is a distraction, I guess you're just like, why does she keep talking about social media? Because it's one of the biggest distractions there is. Okay. Even if you work a 9 to 5, get rid of distractions, get rid of negative people. Only deal with them when you have to. Those are all distractions. Stay mentally fresh, right? I just talked about stress management, how to manage your stress. Um, Set up reminders. I have reminders in this little wonderful device, wonderful, not terrible device, I call it. Set up reminders on your phones about the things you need to do on a daily basis, weekly, monthly, whatever. And then manage your stress. We just talked about stress management. Manage your stress. Because when you have constantly have distractions, and then you get, where social constant, too much social media or negative people or things, manage those distractions. I had to do that, especially like I said, if you know you have a vision and a mission in life, what you're supposed to be doing. And this is personal and professional. Okay. Don't allow anything, anybody, just a moment of transparency here. I mean, I've been having a lot going on lately um, with my health, some things, but as well as some things going on, and it became stressful. right? It became very stressful. But guess what? I decided that I was going to do what I need to do. I had my stress management methods. I still do it. I got work to do because I posted something the other day about I'm living full so I can die empty. There's a lot God has placed in me, and I'm not going to let any distractions, whether that's something as simple as something I control, like my time, my social media time, or negative people, or what have you, or the naysayers, or the haters, or whatever, you know, those are distractions. Stay focused on what you're supposed to do. Stay focused on your goals, what you're supposed to manage your time. Then sometime, there are some days I get up and if I feel myself, guess what I do? I take that day as a mental health day. I may lay up on the couch in my PJs and watch TV because my days are not 9 to 5. Some of my time, my days as a business owner, I'm working 12 hours, sometimes longer. But I take those moments because life is short. Okay. All right. So let's go to this last one, soft skill relationship building. And the reason I save this for last is because you'll see so many soft skills within this is part of building productive and healthy relationships. So the essentials for good relationship building, being honest. Be honest with yourself. Being honest with the situation, about the situation. Many times we live in this world where we want to be a counterfeit when God designed us as an original masterpiece. We try to live through the eyes of what we think society think we should be, and that's not being honest with yourself. That's not being truthful with with yourself. That's not respecting yourself. Practice honesty. Sometimes if you need to take some time away, because you're like, what does this have to do with relationships, Sarita? I'm glad you asked. When you are focusing on your being, remember I told you I take a holistic approach to life coaching and leadership, from a business perspective. They're all intertwined. You have to be honest with yourself. You have to know who you are. You have to have a high level of emotional intelligence in the area of self-awareness. Being honest. Okay. I talked about this earlier, communication skills, which is a soft skill. That's critical in building relationship. You don't have to know, have to know how to talk to people, learn how to communicate effectively, listening. There is a I want to say a key, there's a vibrant, what word am I looking for here? There is a very practical skill to listening. And I actually have a course called Effective Communications, right? And I go into listening. There is a take a deeper dive into listening. There are different components of listening. You'll be shocked at the different components of listening, how to effectively listen. Verbal communication skills. That's what I'm doing now, speaking. That's what we do the majority of the time, speak, right? Then there's nonverbal. I have a tendency when I talk, I use my hand. That's body language. Body language is nonverbal. And now the ultimate texting, that is nonverbal. But there comes a time that you must realize, depending on the situation, if you're handling conflict or some type of major issue, a text message is not the way to communicate. You need to either pick up the phone, a phone call, or um, face to face being the present of that person. I don't know why I'm so lost for words right about now. But yeah, there's when you're communicating, your communication skills, depending on the situation, it requires a phone call. And it also requires being face to face in person with somebody. Because guess what? None like you can see someone facial expressions, you can see their body language, you can hear their tone. Sometimes when you're sending a text message, you can't see that. And that's why so many misunderstanding happen from sending text messages or some kind of messaging. Even an email, you can't see a person may say something and you're thinking you've taken it all out of context, and that's not what they mean. But if you picked up the phone or went around the corner to their office or down the hall, the cubicle, wherever it is from a professional standpoint, if you're at work, it could have resolved the whole thing. So that's part of building good relationship, having great communication skills. Another relationship factor is trust. When you have honesty, when you um, people see who you are, they know your work ethic, another soft skill, right? They know who you are. The way I am on a personal and a professional level, I am very transparent. That's just part of who everybody's not like that. I have a very, when I said transparency, of course, you're not going to tell everything, but I am very transparent. I believe in transparency. I believe in, being honest. I believe in humility, integrity, um, as well as, self-awareness, being aware of yourself. So if you see what I'm going with this, and that brings, emotional intelligence, being emotionally intelligent, being self-aware, knowing how to regulate your emotions, right? And then respect. That is key. People, if you want respect, give respect. If you want love, give love. Whatever you want, you have to first know who you are. Because when people see that you have a good work ethic, they see that you have honesty, your integrity, you will earn respect that way. Okay. And then the last component of relationship building is networking skills. You know, Before the pandemic, I was a huge advocate I went to a lot of networking events. So of course, when the pandemic shut things down, you could only think the way you can really network is actually, via Zoom or video conference. There was very little face-to-face meetings, what have you. Now, when things start kind of really this year, really start getting back to people are having conferences in person and networking. Actually, a couple of weeks ago, I'm still careful. I actually started going to a lot of networking events and start back building my relationships. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, most of my relationship building is really funny. It's from working in a work environment. I also started many years ago when my daughter was in school. I was very active and involved in her, curriculum activities and sporting activities or what have you. And so that's how I met a lot of different people. That's networking. So you don't think about that because if you're an active parent, you just what you do, but that's how you build relationships. So the key to building essential good relationships is first and all honest, knowing who you are, being real about yourself, right? um I don't want my iPad to die, so while I'm talking to you, I'm going to be plugging this up. But those are all part of building relationships. The greatest relationships, the key to having a great and effective relationships is first knowing who you are. All right. Sorry about that. I didn't want this to go dead. Knowing who you are, right? Being honest with yourself, knowing how to effectively communicate, trust, having emotion, being emotional intelligent, respect yourself as well as respect others, and of course, networking. Okay. All right. So, what are the next steps? We are rounding to the end here. I've given you a lot of information. I'm just going to be honest. Most of this information is just the surface. I take a deeper dive in every last one of these soft skills. I have courses, guys. I have probably developed over 15 courses. All right. So the next steps, as you know, I do one-on-one coaching as well. So go to my website, and it's fspenterprises.net. You'll see this is actually a snapshot. If you love this information, you want to go to the next step, one-on-one coaching. I have life coaching sessions. We do leadership coaching sessions, service, and whatever you need. If maybe you want to get into, social media, or discovery call for digital marketing, I have all that. But I have one on. You can book me. Go on my website, and it'll directly book me and what have you. Now, the sessions, the life coaching sessions, I really prefer to do a inquiry first. Meet me. Let's talk. Because one thing I've learned along the way, and I'm just real, every coach may not be for you. I may not be for you. We need to have a kind of click. Because if I'm going to be coaching you one-on-one, we have to have that chemistry there, I call it, so that you can get the results that you desire. And I'm going to help you get there. So this is one of another ways of my services I provide is one-on-one coaching. But the biggest one that I have this one is more of customized programs. So what is that, Sarita? Okay. So I have different levels. All those, remember those courses I told you I have different packages. This is for more of for the corporate setting or organizations, small or large. So these are different packages. The first level, soft skills development, level 1. This is a 3-month program. Remember, which is 12 weeks. Remember I said in the end, soft skill development is a process. It doesn't happen overnight. I will, but I don't like doing what I call Band-Aid classes. What is Band-Aid classes, Sarita? When you come in, I do a couple of sessions, one a week, a couple of days. I just come in and do one, right? To me, that's more motivational speaking. That's not effective. It's a Band-Aid. People get hyped, they get excited, they get the material, they get in their car, life happens at work or home, and all that little hour and a half, maybe I spend 8 hours with you. I don't know. It all goes away. You don't even think about it. But if you want to change a behavior, these are the programs that I have set up. So the first one is a 3-month program, which is 12 weeks. I think of it like it's a semester, right? This is for it's a 1 to 20 employees. First thing I do a need analysis. This particular package includes 3 soft skill courses, each course 4 weeks. So these are customized. So I come in and do a need analysis. Maybe your people are excellent in emotional intelligence, but maybe they have issues with how to deal with conflict, or they don't know how to effectively communicate. So you get to choose 3 courses customized for and most time these are for your management teams or whatever employees, how you want to do it. You also get a monthly one-on-one session. I do that with each employee. If you got 10 employees, I meet with them one-on-one, 1 per month for 3 months. This includes weekend group coaching sessions. This is a group coaching sessions. We do a virtual every week, except for the first week. One out of the month, we do 1 in-person coaching session, right? So this is where I come in. You bring your people together, and we do a group coaching session live one-on-one once a month. This also includes course material. I give you an e-manual. I have so much material I have developed. So, but if you want it printed, of course, that's extra cost if you want it printed. But this is the packages. Let's just say you need a little bit longer. I have a 6-month program, 24 weeks. Basically, that's like 2 semesters. You'll have me. So same thing. The only thing is you'll get 6 soft skill courses. Each one is 4 weeks. And of course, the level 3 is 8 months. That's pretty much almost like an entire year, because we go through the calendar. Certain weeks we may not have because of holidays or what have you. But these are all programs customized for you. After I do a need analysis, because it's not a one size fit all. These programs are designed to be effective to change behavior. You can't change your behavior, like I said, just having a one. Now, like I said, I'll conduct training classes, one offs or what have you. But if you want to effectively change things in your environment, in your culture, in your organization, this is what you need. Okay. So this is what I offer. You can either send me an email or go on my website, send me a message. Some things are already there. Like I said, you can just book, but if you want interested in these customized programs, send me an email, which I'll provide that for you um, during at the end, which is probably coming up shortly. Okay. But guys, I'm serious about this. This is I've taken a lot of time. I've invested a lot of time and I've invested a lot of money because you have to invest in yourself. I'm giving you a lot of information today. But what these are designed, these sessions and these customized programs, I'm not only going to give you information, what you're investing in is strategies. So you can find information every day. You can Google something and find it in Google, or Google it and find it, But strategies, this is what you won't find. Each person has a different way, a coach has a different way of how they use the strategy. Mine is a little unorthodox. Like I say, I take a holistic approach. And by the way, these particular programs, you do have actually homework or practices. I give you different. We have role plays. We have different. I use different tools to help you. So by the end of these programs, you will see the results. I promise you will. All right. So let's keep in touch. I conduct webinars. I've started to conduct webinars like this monthly so you make sure you follow me online. I'm streaming live on YouTube. I'm streaming live on I have a YouTube page. So if you're looking at this through Facebook or LinkedIn, please go to my website and you actually can watch my YouTube from my website. Go to my website, connect to my YouTube page and subscribe. So I want everybody to subscribe. What are we doing today? We are actually subscribing to Sarita's YouTube page. Repeat after me. I am subscribing to Sarita's YouTube page. So make sure you do that. This is my email address, all things Sarita. Everything's on my website. And this is my mailing address as well. I'm so proud of my website. I want to thank my website designer, Marcus. He is a very bright young man. So I'm giving him a shout out on my Marcus Dean. He's actually on I follow him on Instagram. I can't remember what exactly his handle is, but he designed my website. Okay. All right. So what's coming up next? So join me for another webinar on this coming Thursday. Listen, this is the one, especially for my HR professionals and even just my managers and supervisors or what have you. You don't want to miss this webinar. It's called Engaging the Multi-Generational Workforce. And I have a lot of things I talk about each generation, give you information, and I give you some tips to engage. Because listen, it's not about who's right or who's wrong. It's about everyone coming together and exchange tactics, strategies, methods, information to be able to work together in a workforce. Because now in the workforce, we have not only, there's a few baby boomers, but we have Gen Xers, we have millennials, and we have Gen Z who has entered the workforce. I'm recording this now, so this is after election. Actually, we just elected our first Gen Z. He's 25 years old. I think he's a senator. So make sure you grab your it's called sip and learn. Grab your favorite glass of wine or your favorite beverage and join me Thursday night for this free webinar. It's look, all my webinars, I try to make them very engaging. So you won't, but this is going to be good. You want to make sure you see that. All right. Another thing I have going on here, I am created my first on-demand webinar. Webinar on demand is called Creativity Through the Lens of Graphic Design. This is a webinar that I conducted earlier this year, and I loaded it. It is, oh my God, it is really so much worth more than $25. But I decided I want everybody, because this is for beginner and intermediate graphic designers. If you don't know my story, I kind of tell you my story on the webinar, so you have to get it to download it. And I actually do actually live. I go on Canva. That's the tool that I use to actually demonstrate how to go in. I give you, but it's not about graphic design, guys. It's much more. It's about marketing strategies and branding. I talk about presenting. I talk about a lot of things. So it's much more than graphic design. So here it is. It's actually on my social media page. I have it on my website pretty soon, but you can go to Linktree or go to any of my social media sites and actually platforms, sorry. And actually you can actually download it and take it through there. Okay. So don't miss that. All right. So thank you for attending. And I want to thank all my supporters who always support me. And like I said, this is just the beginning, guys. There is so much that is coming down the path. Let me stop sharing so I can see you. There's so much going on as far as coming down the pipeline for 2023. I am very excited, and stay tuned. You'll hear more about it. But if this really was helpful to you, reach out to me, because there's a lot of great things. I have books that I'm in the process of actually writing 3 books, but you'll be hearing soon when they'll be published next year. I'm excited about some new things that are going on, and I'm kind of taking a different path on certain things now. But as always, I greatly appreciate giving you information and helping you in your personal and your professional development. Yes, because guess what? At the end of the day, soft skills really matter. They matter to help you in every area of your life. Okay. Well, so have a great weekend. You can come back and look at the replay. And like I said, reach out to me, send me an email if you have any questions, or if you're ready to take the next steps. That's what I'm here for, and that's what I do. It's been a pleasure. I always enjoy engaging with people, where either on social media or if I'm out somewhere, because I am a firm believer that this mission that God has given me, I use soft skills as my tool to spread the word. Okay. And to get out and to help people see things in a different perspective, to help people live their best lives. Okay. And most importantly, I'm skilling you softly to live and lead with confidence and boldness. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. And I will see you Thursday, right? Be on the next webinar Thursday evening, November, I think it's the 17th, whatever next Thursday is, at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. See you then. Bye.